top 5 players list in each conference. We'll start with the Western Conference. According to Mojo, the top 5 players and their share price is based off of career value. Number 1 is LeBron. Number 2 is KD. Number 3 is Jokic. Number 4 is Steph. And number 5 is Chris Paul because of the career he's had. But
longevity.
Next one up would be Devin Booker and Anthony Davis at 5.
Wow.
Where's Kawhi?
It's between
no
those.
Luka?
He's not in the playoffs. That's why.
Okay, that's all. We're talking about playoffs.
So
where's Kawhi at?
Well, do you have your own personal 5?
Yeah, listen, my personal
I got my
5.
Let's do it.
Number 1 to me is Kevin Durant. I think he's the best player in the Western Conference. He's literally the only player I see out of all these top players that has no weakness in his game, really. And he's no weakness. Number 2 is Nikola Jokic. Number 3 is LeBron. Number 4 is Steph. And number 5, I have Anthony Davis.
Okay, so I'll go after you. I got number 1. I got the Joker out of respect for what he's been doing. Number 2, I got Stephen Curry, another player who doesn't have a weakness in his game. Respect my boy.
Defense.
Yeah, that's not a weakness. He's good at it. Number 3, I got Kevin Durant, of course.
What are we doing?
Number 4, I have LeBron James. He's coming right in. And then whoa, that was open. And then number 5, I got Anthony Davis. That's my 5.
Of those 5, I'm picking those same 3 guys only, except I'm putting them at the top of the list because LeBron James and Steph Curry and Anthony Davis are the only 3 guys in this group that have championships. Those are the only 3 guys. So those guys in the playoffs today have to be in the top 5. That's number 1.
He just said Kevin Durant's rings mean absolutely not a thing to me. And that's why I stamp you, OG. Amen to that. He went crazy. Amen. I'm with you.
Number 4, I would say Kevin Durant, and then number 5, I would have to go with Kawhi Leonard.
Well, how do you feel about that, Joel, Mr. Kevin Durant lover?
Listen, I think Kevin Durant deserves his respect. He was 2-time Finals MVP. I understand
he was 2-time Finals MVP.
I understand.
I'm not going to leave that out. I'm thinking about recently. I'm not thinking about
when he was with good teams and not the super team. I get
it. Well, no, not the. I'm not discounting it, but I'm thinking about this recently. I don't want to discount what Kevin Durant did because he wasn't just on the bus. He wasn't just on the bus. He did win the Finals MVP.
He was sitting in the front
seat. We wouldn't look at you any different if you decided to do so.
OG's a smart man.
I just want to make sure that we clear.
He trying to save face.
He does.
So who's your 5, Drew?
So number 1, of course, LeBron James. It's playoff time. It's a different conversation. We're talking about the best player in basketball come these moments, LeBron James. Number 2, Stephen Curry. Of course, he gets that title right underneath LeBron James. Number 3, I have Kevin Durant. You mentioned it, no weakness to his game. He's been phenomenal. We just need to ensure, God willing, he stays healthy. The Suns will be a dominant team, no doubt. Number 4, I have Nikola Jokic, 2-time MVP. If maybe conversation and maybe the Nuggets, lack of dominant play the last month of basketball, probably looking at a back-to-back MVP, but that will not be the case. I have Nikola Jokic at 4. And I was torn between 5 and 6, to be honest with you. I know we're only 5, but I have to give my honorable mention between Kawhi and Anthony Davis, because understanding Kawhi has the responsibilities of a 1, but the way that Anthony Davis has been consistently great, it's tough. I have to be biased in this one scenario, though. I'm going Anthony Davis.
You didn't have to, but you did.
No, I did. Yeah. I did.
You were going to.
Yeah.
So we all have Kawhi Leonard over Anthony Davis right now?
Yeah.
I have AD over Kawhi.
I was going to say. I thought I heard the rest of you guys.
I mean, Anthony Davis over Kawhi.
Yeah.
I got Kawhi at 5. I have KD, Curry, Jokic, LeBron, Kawhi. I got Kawhi over AD.
Respectable 5. I ain't mad.
Wait, you don't have Steph?
I just want to make sure I had James, Curry, Anthony Davis.
Steph was 2.
Kevin Durant, and
AD.
Anthony. Yeah, that's why.
I think AD at 5 or AD and Kawhi at 5 or 6 is valid.
Yeah.
And John, who's your top 5?
Steph is number 1. The finals performance he had last year versus Celtics was unbelievable. I have Jokic number 2 until he went to championship because there's more concerns with him. At number 3, I do have Kevin Durant. He may be more a complete player than Steph, but that finals performance, that finals run last year, him doing it on his own again. I mean, Steph is the best player in the conference.
Hence the term again.
You guys really are disgustingly disrespectful.
At number 4, I have Luka Doncic, and then at number 5,
he's not in the playoffs.
Okay, but he is the top 5 player in the conference.
John,
what the hell? We meant in the conference and the playoffs.
John, you're giving casual. You're giving casual. All right, lock the fuck in.
About?
We're talking about the playoffs.
In the conference.
Playoffs.
I know. I'm just saying, if it were,
you're right.
Look at the lower third. Each conference in the playoffs. Number 4,
you made that. You made a mistake.
At number 5, I'd have LeBron James. Well, you didn't tell me that before the show. LeBron, I would have below Kawhi, more so because it's just like a toss-up between the two. and I think Kawhi's a slightly better two-way player in this stage of his career. I think Anthony Davis would be an honorable.
Drew, why do you think it's disrespectful to have a dude who just won a chip and averaged 30 in a final?
No, I'm not disrespecting. I'm not disrespecting Stephen Curry. I have him number 2 on mine.
No, but I'm saying when John said Steph had won, you got mad.
No, I wasn't mad. I was mad at Jokic and then Luka Doncic.
Well, the reason why, Drew, is because LeBron's a walking playing team, and Nikola Jokic every year in the playoffs actually leads his team to a top 3 seed. And a floor raiser matters more than a ceiling raiser if you can't get to your ceiling.
See,
every year
there's no way you're talking about Jokic when it comes to LeBron in the playoffs.
I think. What do you mean?
Because LeBron he's a playoff guy.
The greatest playoff performer ever.
This shit
ever.
2016, it's 2023, and right now,
how about 2020? How about 2020?
Jokic is a better
forgot about that?
raiser, and he's a better
Wake
offensive
the hell
player.
up, John.
Can we move on?
Now
Yeah.
this is
LeBron fans, what you're doing? You're just riding his coattails when Jokic is the better player right now.
this is now Eastern Conference according to Mojo. Top 5 players in Eastern Conference playoffs according to Mojo. Number 1 is Giannis. Think that's pretty easy. This is based off career value. So number 2 is James Harden, and him being at 2 shows just how much he needs a championship to solidify his resume. Number 3 is Tatum. Number 4 is Embiid, and number 5 is Donovan Mitchell.
Okay, so you go ahead, Joel. Go same.
My personal top 5 is 1 Giannis, 2 Embiid, 3 Tatum, 4 Mitchell, 5 it was a toss up between Brown and Harden, and I think I'm gonna go Jaylen Brown right now.
No Young.
I don't think Trae Young is better than either of these guys right now.
For me,
Jaylen Brown and Trae Young.
I think Jaylen Brown's better than Trae Young right now.
I think for me, I did mine wrong. I did my West wrong. I should do my West like my East. Giannis at 1, Joel Embiid at 2, Tatum at 3. I'm gonna go D Mitch at 4, and then I'll go James Harden at 5. I think I'm gonna go with that.
I feel like that's the list. I have Trae Young honorable mention. I feel like he needs that acknowledgement, of course. You mentioned Jaylen Brown. I've loved to see his acknowledgement and his respect amongst the best players in the league. Of course, being a Jaylen Brown supporter, that's phenomenal. But I feel like the 5 has to be Giannis, Embiid, Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and James Harden. James Harden has been phenomenal this season, and he really has not been talked about as much because he's playing on the team with the MVP, leading the league in assists. Again, like I mentioned earlier in the show, his second most efficient season at the 3-point line, shooting 38%, and he has 21 points per game, but it's on significantly less shot attempts than we're accustomed to seeing from James Harden. He's been unbelievable this year, and it's been under the radar.
And just to be fair, I only have Jaylen Brown over Harden because I do trust Jaylen Brown in the playoffs a little bit more.
That hurts for you. I know.
He's super consistent.
I think it's interesting that a dude who has his team in the Eastern Conference Championship twice in the last 3 years and had his team in the NBA Finals is not on this list, and that's Jimmy Butler. I thought that was interesting, but that's another.
He might not make
Who's
it.
your 5?
Yeah.
OG.
Who's your 5, OG?
I'm the same 5 that you just said. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm cool
Jimmy
with that
Butler
right there.
might not get in, brother. Man, respect.
Right.
that.
He might not, but he also might get. I don't think they're beating the Bulls tonight.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough. Dels, you got the same list?
I was gonna troll and say Tatum 1, but no, I have the same. I have the same top 3. Giannis, Embiid, Embiid, Tatum, Mitchell 4, 5. Jaylen Brown, Harden, Trae. It's really you want to talk. Obviously, you know who I'm taking. I'm taking the real JB, but I'm up for a debate there.
And John, who's your top 5?
It would also be Giannis, Embiid, Tatum, Donovan Mitchell. Actually, no, scratch that. Jimmy Butler and then Donovan number 5.
He's not getting in.
John,
We have to see.
He
Jeez.
is.